Mm-hmm. There's Connor.
Alright, I want to thank everybody for taking time out of your busy schedules to attend Chatham's graduation ceremony. This is a record-setting day. This campus has never graduated out over 50% of its licensed capacity all in one day. This is an important milestone in your students' lives. They got their first tooth, they took their first steps, they had their first day of preschool, and now they are graduating. Sure, there is going to be bigger and more important graduations in the future, but they will all be built on the foundation of this graduation and the critical years before their 5th birthday that they spent here at Chatham School. All right, now to get with you. Last weekend I was baking bread, which is a very time-consuming process if you've never baked bread before. And I had plenty of opportunity to think about my graduating class and all these little melancholy moments coming to mind. And I couldn't help but compare these students to the fine loaf of artisan bread that was baking in my oven. All the families in the audience presented this school with all these batches of individual ingredients. The Rainbow teachers then took those ingredients, they mixed them together in just the right proportions, and they created this wonderful dough which they lovingly presented to the giraffe teachers. It was warm and yeasty and ready to rise. The giraffe teachers took their time with that dough though. They took that dough, they added a few more ingredients, they kneaded it very gently, and then they stood back and let it rise. And they did that over and over throughout the year, adding ingredients and standing back and letting it soak in and rise. It was naturally growing throughout the year again and again. And finally it was ready to bake. Nothing else to add. It was perfect. It was ready to put in the oven, or in this case, go out into the big world. Now these teachers may never get to see the finished product. It's your bread. You get to smell it baking. You get to anticipate how wonderful it will be. You get to cherish the quality and the flavor of the finished product. Let me introduce to you the teachers who prepared these loving loaves for graduation. Miss Rosa. Alright, now the program and the songs for this graduation ceremony, they change annually to reflect the personalities of the graduating class. This class is very high energy, with lots of curiosity and enthusiasm. So I guarantee that you will see one of them in the news in the future. Probably more than one.
Yeah.
So Lady Gaga and Queen songs were almost most natural candidates for all these future movers and shakers.
What's wrong, Liam?
And although we have
You're right.
multiple
Pop songs.
lyrics, I think that Eddie Mercury would be proud of our version of You Will Rock Me. I asked the students individually what their favorite thing was about Chatham School. Let me introduce the graduates as I read their answers. All right? So, River Shaw. Stand up, River. Stay standing, River. You guys stay standing. Nate Combring. Nate likes riding the bikes. Liam Rocha. Liam Rocha's favorite thing is playing with the magnet blocks. Trevor Walton. Trevor's favorite thing is playing in the sand. We got plenty of that. Diego Tiznado. Diego likes to play with the trains and the trucks. Miles Rocha. Miles likes playing on our great play structure. Logan Hill. Logan likes riding the bikes. Marcus Marid. Marcus likes playing basketball. Aiden Karagaka. Aiden really likes playing basketball too. And Kira Tromby. Another basketball player. Connor Carrington. Connor likes all the animals the best. And Ozzy Morgan. Ozzy likes playing with Liam Straczynski. Very true. Karen likes playing Legos. Samuel Lewison. Samuel likes playing on the monkey bars too. Milani Abraham likes playing on the monkey bars. Liam Straczynski. His favorite thing is playing Legos. Joshua Lewis. Joshua Lewis likes playing with all of his friends. Angelo Masilli. Angelo likes playing with trucks the best. Gotta love this one, you guys. AJ Cox. He pointed for me down here. We were up there and he said, I like looking at the view. Carla Kilmermore. Carla likes doing everything. Jameson Goff. Jameson likes snuggling the baby mice. Jameson, stay up. Kylia Cantero. Her favorite thing at Chatham is playing with all of her friends. Lily Fox really likes the drawing. Kelly Bruin. Kelly likes drawing the best too. This is just by chance. Emily Huey likes drawing the best.
Yeah.
Sophie Ramos. Sophie Ramos likes the Tomlinson. Fisher loves finding treasures in the sand. All right, stay up, you guys. All right, so let's hear it for the 2012 graduates. About how these kids are on the verge of bigger and better things that they haven't even imagined yet, that they are on the edge of glory. Eyes up front. I'm on the edge of glory and hanging on the line of truth. I'm on the edge of glory, and I'm hanging on a moment with you. I'm on the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge. I'm on the edge of glory, and I'm hanging on a moment with you. I'm on the edge with you. Okay, don't leave yet.
Yeah.
Pick up your flowers. Now, does everybody have their flower in their hand? Okay. So we know that you guys have many options when choosing a preschool for your child. And I know how hard Maureen works at keeping the prices as low as possible so that she can provide services to as many families as possible. But we all understand the sacrifices that each individual family has to make to pay for a quality preschool. We want to thank you for choosing Chatham and for telling your friends and your family about Chatham and your experiences here. It has enabled us to fill our fall roster in record time with this record number of openings. Your children and your school want to say thank you.
Thank you, Connor. Are you leaving it here? Is that what you're supposed to do? Okay. Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Froze on you.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, that I knew.
Alright. As most of you know, we don't promote kids from rainbow to giraffe based on chronological age, but on maturity, when they're ready for the material. And that policy has left us with one giraffe student who, because of his young age, was ineligible to go to kindergarten this year. But that did not keep us from having him in the giraffe group because he was ready. He was ready for the structure, he was ready for the material, he was ready for the higher standards that the giraffe teachers demand. And he was ready to be in our upper class. So because he's going to remain at Chatham for one more year, I have decided to crown him king. Or come on up. Giraffe, Ma, or Ziskin. And now, with all of these students leaving, I need some new giraffes. Are there any rainbows out there with long necks? Please come up here to the front if I call your name, okay? Nicholas, is he here today? No? Okay, Logan Posey. Come right up here. Stand right up here in front. Come on, Logan. Cora. Where's Cora? Lily. Okay, Ava.
A bunch of them aren't here.
Carla.
A lot of people on vacation.
Jacob. Yay!
Yeah.
Chula. Eliza. Charlie. Josephine. Molly. Henry. Not today? Okay, Woodrow. Okay, now some of them are going to be moving up sooner than others just because these guys are exiting and all of our new ones coming in are mostly rainbows. So I'll be moving them up throughout the summer. It's actually on their ticket if you want to know exactly what date they're coming forward. Next week is Logan. You're a giraffe next week, buddy. Jaden. Oh, there's Nicholas. Eliza. Next week too. Yep. Nicholas, next week you're a giraffe. Charlie. Josephine. Molly didn't come. Henry, congratulations. What are you? Congratulations. Now we have a song to sing to you guys for all the big giraffes to say goodbye, okay? Congratulations. Makes us glad.
Graduation makes us glad. Friends at Chatham, don't be sad. Kindergarten starts this fall. We will miss you one and all. Don't be sad, please don't cry. Let's blow a kiss and say goodbye. We will
some presentations. I think that all of my teachers know how much I appreciate them, but since I have the floor, and I can publicly thank them, each and every one of them for the phenomenal job that they do with these kids every single day. I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you guys. I also want to thank Maureen for all of her support. This has been a great year. I didn't think we could top last year. I thought last year was great. But this year, I agree that as a team, we have managed to raise the bar once again. She knows just when to give me the reins and let me run, and when to reel me in a little bit. Take this opportunity to thank all the families who participated in the teacher appreciation activities this week. I really enjoyed watching the smiles on my teachers' faces when they go home with their big bouquet of flowers, or when they're eating their breakfast and enjoying all the nice things that you did in the baskets. Everything was really nice. And I know Ute Dawa, Ute, do you want to come on up? I know Ute organized all this.
And thank you for responding so well. It was the easiest job I could have had because you all participated and cooked and brought breakfast. I know there's a lunch waiting for the teachers, and it was all you, so thank you. I think the teachers deserve even more. I think they're doing such a wonderful job, and I think they felt appreciated this week. Absolutely. We love you guys so much. And also, I know because Cammie had the floor, everybody else got appreciated, but I think we should give a big hand to Cammie, who is just amazing, providing the children with everything that they have here, from true life cycles. The mice are getting fed to the snakes. You know, she's just coping with whatever happens, whatever needs to be done. She's always here. She's still sweeping the floors and watering the plants and taking care of all the children. So a big hand for And there's one thing also, I was getting a little teary-eyed yesterday already when I was dropping off my other kids, and I was talking to Rosa, and Rosa was so emotional too. We just talked a little bit. I mean, these children graduate, but the entire school feels it, and everybody is emotional, because that's the one thing about this school that is so special, I think, is while the children have their own class teachers, everybody takes care of everybody in this school, and I think that makes it such an amazing place for our children. And we were remembering a few stories, because I was saying she knows stories about each one of these kids, and it doesn't matter that she has another group now. She remembers what was going on with all these children. And I'll tell you one thing that we'll all never forget, everybody who's been with Jameson. He started before he was 2.5, and I asked him if I could tell the story, and he said, yes, tell the story, it's funny, right? Right, Jameson? So I'm not, he wants us to laugh about that. But when he was potty training and he was not really willing to leave his play behind to go to the potty, he decided to pull his pants down under the play structure. It was not pee-pee.
Yeah.
So, and then we had to clean it up, and it was really funny, right?
Yeah.
Everybody will always remember that. Thank you all for taking care of Jameson and all the other children in the fall.
Okay, so I'm going to need your help with this one, Maureen. I want the following families to come up. We have some special recognition to the Ramos family. Who's here from the Ramos family? Lewison? On down. Combering. Morgan. Huey. That will be you, Jackie. Furthermore. the painful countdown of the last days with many of these graduates' families. But for these parents, today is particularly meaningful. These families have had multiple students graduate from Chatham School, and this is the last one. They are turning a page. This is the end of an era. Years and years of pulling up in front of Chatham School is now coming to an end. And so to start their new life after Chatham, we wanted to give them a special gift. Is there anything you want to say before I pass it up?
If I say so, I'll start crying.
So,
First of all, I've known Cammie for over 30 years. And her daughter was my first child ever. And this is true. I called Cammie and told Cammie I was opening up the other site. And does she know anybody who's reliable and everything? And then 2 weeks later she calls me up and says, I want to come. And I was totally flushed because she had been running her own daycare for a long time. I hit her at the right moment for her to make a change. And I will never forget for that. And one thing she did at that campus is that she had some of these parents' first children, their oldest. And so she has had the blessing of having them at, all of their children, no matter where she is. Cammie left me for 2 years and decided that her place was with me. So she came back and I placed her here, and I knew that you guys would get good hands with me. And then the conference had been with us, and I just she honored me yesterday and took her son to my graduation up there so she could see her son's old classmates graduate. So I want to thank them, and we have a gift for Tina. Thank you. And thank you for being with me for how many years now? 14 years? Yeah, 14 years. She's grown up and she started with my daughter, and she thought she couldn't handle her class by herself, and she found out that she's just as strong. I pushed her and pushed her and pushed her, and she's even more awesome than ever. She has a preschool right across from her house, and she chose us. And the Ramos, she came here. She came here to preschool here, so she wanted the best for her children. I know Charlie's still touching us. And I see Charlie every morning. Oh my gosh, when she told me she was having her third one, she was crying. And she's so strong. She meant to have 3 boys. And this is her 4th boy. Oh my gosh. I will never forget you guys. You're wonderful. I remember the older daughter took the violin at the graduation here. So it was awesome. Very we're pretty much full up there now too. So we thank you for choosing Chatham.
all right, so now we're going to present the graduation books. These books contain your child's diploma, a gift from the school, their journal, their flat friends, some art that they did, some photos of things they did throughout the year, some keepsakes, their friends' signatures, Anybody who didn't get to sign the books, if you want to get your friend's signature, I've got some pens up here on the table for after the ceremony. The kids that weren't here yesterday didn't get to do it, or if they went home early. There's also a special card from your teachers. Each of the giraffe teachers wrote some very heartfelt messages. And so I want you to come over here, Luz. Point up and let me call out the names.
Are you going to
Yes.
when you leave the nest?
All right. Are you ready, guys? River Shaw. River. Come on up, River. Where's the camera? Smile.
Yeah.
Connor Carrington.
That'll work. Woohoo! Woohoo!
Joshua Lewis. Jameson Dog.